Hey everybody, Rusty here with Rusty Vintage Cards. Hope everyone's having a fantastic week. I have a little SGC reveal to share, and I'm excited to share these cards. I mentioned after Strongsville that I had submitted some cards to SGC at Strongsville. So I got those back last week, and these are mostly cards that I had already picked up and brought to Strongsville with me. There was one card that I included that I had purchased at Strongsville. And I mentioned this on my previous video, or at least after Strongsville. I didn't even get a chance to take a picture of it. I just bought it, and within a couple of hours, I submitted it to SGC. So I was pumped to get that card back, and excited to share these cards. So I also have predictions of what I think the grades will be. I actually recorded this while I was at Strongsville, and this is just for fun. As I did on my previous SGC reveal, it's just to try to get in the heads of the SGC graders and see how close I can get. I'm really not too concerned about the numbers really in any situation. But again, it's just for fun. That's one of the reasons why I submit cards for grading, is because I enjoy it. And another reason is because I like how they look in the slabs. So in the instance of SGC, I like how those cards look in the tuxes. So I will turn this camera around and we'll check out my predictions, see how close or how far off I was on these cards. And then we'll see what the cards look like now that they're all tuxed up. So I'll turn this camera around, let's check it out. All right, I'm at my hotel room at the Best Western Plus in Strongsville, Ohio. And I plan to submit some cards to SGC tomorrow at this vintage card show. Sorry for the shakiness, I don't have a tripod with me, but I do have this 1957 Bill Mazeroski, which I think is an amazing example. Pretty clean, sharp corners, nice surface, just a little bit of staining on the right edge there. Just the slightest bit of staining on the back. So I would say this card should get at least a 6. I'd be surprised if it didn't get a 6. Hoping for a 7. All right, the first card we have is a 1957 Topps Bill Mazeroski rookie card. I predicted a 6. Thought I could potentially get a little bit higher. Let's see what SGC said. They gave it a 6. So I'm thrilled about that. I think this card just looks beautiful in the tux. Perfect centering, perfect image on this card. Couldn't be happier. There's the back. Sorry guys, I'm getting a little bit of a glare here. I have a 1958 Jim Bunning. Again, a pretty sharp card. Great surface on this. It does have a little bit of a corner issue there. Very nice back. So I'm hoping for a 5. I'm not sure if that corner will allow me to get a 5, but I'll say probably a 4.5. All right, the next card we have is a 1958 Topps Jim Bunning. This would be his second year card, and SGC gave it a 5. So also really like how this card looks in the tux. Great centering on this. Just a unique color. I don't have too many cards, or really any cards, that are pink like this. There's the back. Also a really nice back on this card. There's the front again. 1958 Topps Jim Bunning. I have a 1939 play ball Vernon Gomez, or Lefty Gomez. Let's see here, has a little bit of a corner issue there, and a little slight rounding of the corners otherwise. You can see just a little bit of a corner issue there. So I will call this a 3. The next card we have, this is a card that I purchased at the Dallas Card Show earlier this year. This is a 1939 play ball Vernon Gomez, or Lefty Gomez. I predicted a 3. Let's see what SGC said. They gave it a 4. So I'm really happy about that. I think I underestimated what SGC, how they grade these play balls, these 39 play balls. So thrilled to have a 4. Here's the back. $1939 play ball Vernon Gomez. This is an interesting card to get graded. This is my 1947 Bond bred Ena Slaughter. Really fantastic image on this card. You can see it has a pinhole right there. Has rounded corners, but those were intentionally rounded, supposedly to fit inside of loaves of bread. That's just a little bit of a surface scratch there. You can see the pinhole a little bit better there. And because of that pinhole, I will say this will get a 1. And the next card we have is a 1947 Bond bred Ena Slaughter. And I predicted a 1. This is also a card that is known for having, at least all the Bond breds, known for a lot of reprints being out there. So just getting a 1 or authentic is fantastic for me, because it means it's a legit card. At least that's someone's opinion, is that it's a legitimate 1947 Bond bred. And it got a 1. Those Bond breds are just really unique looking cards with the rounded corners. And this is a fantastic image, fantastic photograph of Ena Slaughter. There's the back where you can see that pinhole a little bit better. Have a 1936 Gaudy Wide Pin Premium Charles Garinger, or Charlie Garinger. Pretty clean card overall. Has just a little bit of corner wear. Has a little bit of a wrinkle right there, if I can get that to show up. Not too much to see on the back. Hoping for a 3. Because of that wrinkle, I'm going to say a 2.5. The next one is a 1936 Gaudy Wide Pin Premium Charles Garinger, or Charlie Garinger. I predicted a 2.5 on that card, and it got a 4. So I underestimated that one as well. So a 4 on this 1936 Gaudy Premium. It just looks amazing in that tux. And again, blank back on these. Very cool. All right, and lastly, this is the card that I picked up at Strongsville. I've not shown this on my channel yet, and I was really excited to get this card back because I barely saw it before handing it off to SGC. That is a 1939 play ball Bill Dickey, so another play ball, 39 play ball. I have no prediction on this card. I knew it was fairly sharp. Wasn't positive the grade, but let's just look at it. SGC gave it a 5. So that is a fantastic grade, at least for the way that I collect. I'm not collecting typically high-end, high-grade cards, at least not very often. So to get a 5 on this, I am thrilled. Just a cool catcher's pose of Bill Dickey. Let's check out the back. So a nice back on this card. Just a Bill Dickey card that I've had on my list, had it on my radar for quite a while. And these can go in a range of prices. You know, you'll see them, just like a lot of cards, you'll see them listed for you know, pretty high prices, and sometimes, you know, in an auction they'll go for much lower. But 5 on this, you know, it's a decent card. So thrilled to get the 5 back on this, and just thrilled the way it looks, really, regardless of the grade. So let's get these lined up here. All right, there are 3 of the black and whites, all right in a row there. So I appreciate you guys watching. I was really excited to get these back. It's the longest that I've waited for an SGC order. Still wasn't really that long, maybe, you know, 6 weeks from the time I submitted it. So again, excited, and I appreciate you guys watching. I will talk to you soon.